Hello everyone, this is the final Bosman. Thanks for coming over. On today's episode, I'm gonna fight the future. Let's get started. Welcome to the show. I am Kyle Bosman, of course. Today we're in the studio for the first time, kind of half moved in. Lots of unnecessary boxes, but boxes are strangely appropriate for today's topic. I want to talk about physical media. I want to talk about video game boxes. And I want to take that discussion to its unnatural, illogical conclusion. Today's segment is called But Digital is Our Future. I want to start today with a tweet I got from Fave Browser last week. Fave Browser is actually like a website that reviews mobile phone browsers. I'm not sure exactly. Anyway, this person last week, after Microsoft reversed its decision to include heavy DRM on all of its games, said to me, "At Kyle Bosman, you are the reason why we will be stuck in the 80s. Here's a link to a dorkly piece. Congrats on getting a faster horse rather than a car." To which I responded, "I've been waiting my whole life to be stuck in the 80s, which is good on Twitter, but I actually want to respond to Fave Browser's sentiment because I think it's shared by a lot of people. And also that dumb dorkly thing was irrationally popular. But the Xbox One just got better. All that weirdness of the rentals, of no rentals, and how you can share each game with one of your friends, but only one of your friends, and that friend is not a friend until you've registered that friend for 30 days, and all of that just weirdness behind used games, it's all gone, which feels good. That's a relief. So is the 24-hour mandatory online check-in to make sure you're playing by the rules. The system does still require an internet connection. When you open it, you have to connect it to the internet to give it an update that will tell the system that it no longer requires an internet connection. However, I do feel like this is a victory. Like I said last week, I'm proud of us for this. Here's to the whiners. But the Xbox One did lose some features. Now we just have a faster horse. Well, all right, let's look at the features that we did lose. We lost the family sharing plan, which would allow one person to share their entire library with 10 people who they would call family members. 2, lost the ability to rip all the discs I own onto the hard drive, or as many as my hard drive would fit anyway, and I would have instant access to all those games. 3, GameStop now makes all of the money from a used game, but also so does Game Dude or whoever is your local video game store, who would have been left out of the picture completely before. 4, there is no 4, that's basically it. If you want to count the magical cloud computing feature, that's not gone. The purported one that gives the Xbox One more power available to create new gameplay, persistent worlds, and deeper experiences. No, that's not gone. That's still a feature of the Xbox One if you choose to believe in it. So really, the future, our car is the family sharing? Was that our car? Is that what we're missing out on? I don't know. I think that we're not missing out on as much as you think we're missing out on. Internet rumors strongly suggest that the family sharing was limited to 1 hour, that I could play my family's games for 1 hour before having to pay for them, which is honestly makes more sense. It is an admirable feature still, and still a stinky thing to lose. But some people still believe that Microsoft would have allowed myself and one buddy to both play Rise on separate consoles at the same time for as long as we wanted, which is insane. And if true, a lot worse for developers than anything GameStop is doing. I don't think any company would ever do that. Nintendo, stop it. Stop this. No, get out of... You're making me look stupid. Stop it. You're making me look dumb. Stop doing that. It makes no sense. You make no... Nothing you do makes sense. Go. Get out of here. But, digital is our future. Why are we fighting this? It does seem that digital only is the logical path that we're on. And the Xbox One was a digital-only console. Those discs we were buying and ripping onto our hard drive were essentially just tickets that granted us access to a digital game. And so yeah, if you do believe that digital is our unavoidable future, then who's to blame Microsoft for just thinking forward and giving us a system that will make sense years from now. Yeah, I promise that 8 years from now, this whole discussion, this whole hubbub, this stupid episode will make absolutely no sense. But boxes increase the worth we put on things. A boxed game has more value to a human brain. I have a distinct memory of being 5 years old and opening a Christmas present for my grandmother and unwrapping it, and there's like a little crock pot in there. And you know, with grandmothers, you don't know. It could go either way, so I thought that was it. And I was just trying to be appreciative of it. And then she says, no, open that box. And inside of that box was Super Mario Brothers 3. It was just the most beautiful box you can imagine. Look at this box today. It is still a piece of art. And I still have that memory with me, and that would not existed in a digital, oh, here's like a download card for 2,000 Wii points. No, like that is a thing that only exists because of boxes. And Nintendo had a lot of things like that. It is just the console itself of the NES is just the things you have to do to play a game improved the whole ritual of it. Just opening the lid and inserting a cartridge and then pressing it down until the spring locked it in, closing the lid, and then pressing in the power button until it clicks and then it lights up. All of those things added to the enjoyment of a game starting up. In the future, by which I mean mostly today, we just click download and then our game comes to us in a few minutes. And not far beyond that, we'll just click stream and then we'll have those games immediately. And I think that's a bad thing. I think that's going to lead to a shrinking appreciation for our games when we just have access to them immediately. One thing that the 3DS does that I actually love is that whenever you download a game from the eShop, it puts it in a little gift box for you on your menu. And then once you click on that, it opens it up, and that's meant to emulate the feeling of opening up a box. It's not close, but I appreciate the effort. The fact is that a digital game will never have the weight of a physical game. But, digital improved television, and it might improve video games too. In the mid-2000s, there was a boom of TV shows being released on DVD. I mean, TV shows were on VHS tapes before, but that wasn't entirely practical. The DVD was just this perfect medium for putting dozens of episodes of television onto discs that could fit on a shelf. And so for the first time, for a lot of us, we were buying TV. We were owning TV shows, which was a different way to watch, because in the past, TV was expendable. It existed for one night. You watched it once and then it was over. We watch TV differently now. We watch it over and over. We appreciate it more. And so I would argue that television has become smarter because of this, that it's written better and planned better and more confident in being weird. And so now we have shows like Mad Men and Breaking Bad on a normal cable channel. And shows like Futurama and Arrested Development were given a second life. But, people have already stopped buying DVDs. We just stream everything now because we have HBO Go and Netflix and Hulu. Why would you buy DVDs? The fact is, like, I can't actually watch that new season of Arrested Development without an internet connection. But, that's okay, because that season of Arrested Development wouldn't have existed without digital. And I could see this kind of thing improving video games as well. If there's a digital-only world, developers won't have to design games with the fear of it becoming a used game eventually. Tacked-on multiplayer wouldn't be a thing anymore. There probably wouldn't be season passes of DLC. Publishers won't have to worry about whether Walmart will stock their game or not. Games will be allowed to exist as they are, and not as some sort of deteriorating merchandise with an expiration date on it. And I think that will be a good thing from the inside out. But at the same time, we won't have midnight launches for huge video games. We are going to lose our opportunities to put a video game in a box and have our grandchildren unwrap it and see our grandchildren's faces when they take out a Mario game. There won't be a feeling of owning a video game anymore. So I think if you're going to cling to your physical discs and cartridges, that's completely okay. Let's enjoy the tactile niceties of the physical realm while we still can, while we're still human beings and our consciousnesses aren't digitized and uploaded onto this magical cloud where suddenly our brains are smarter and funnier and sexier. In conclusion, I think it makes perfect sense to ride this horse-drawn carriage for as long as possible because we all know the car is coming whether we like it or not. It's going to suck and it's also going to be great, but I don't see any reason to force it upon people who don't want it. And that is this week's episode. I'm sweating my face off. You can find me on Twitter at Kyle Bosman. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week.
See all of our shows and game reviews now on the brand new GT app on Xbox Live and the GT Originals iOS app too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Huh. That's funny. I only remember packing 11 boxes. Must have just counted wrong. Good night, new studio.